Okay, it's field trip time. We are in the big room at Mississippi Public Broadcasting, where they've set up sort of a history of some of the shows they have not only broadcast, but also produced over the past few decades. February 1st of 2025 is the 55th anniversary of MPB's first broadcast. Now, we don't have time to examine everything, so let's look at some of the most fun things. MPB's collection of puppets. And we have a special tour guide to tell us all about them. This is my daughter, Carrie Grayson Horn. She's been at MPB for 25 of those 55 years. You majored in theater and came to work for a television station. Mm-hmm. Was this and wasn't even on air or anything when you got here?
No. I started off as a closed captioner.
And you still are?
And I still am.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's going.
A lot of other things. What's your current title?
My current title is Director of Programming.
Okay.
So from a closed caption writer to closed caption supervisor to a stint in communications, then in the production. Got to work a lot in production as a director, as an on-camera, as a puppeteer, as a writer, and now closed captioner and director of programming.
Yeah.
You can be anything here.
Or everything.
And everything.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I would imagine puppeteering has been the most fun part of your job?
There's fun parts all over the place. There's little moments of fun you can do it, but I would have to say that's the most I've laughed here.
Okay, now who's this?
So this one is Clyde Frog, and he had a safety program back in the 1970s. He has become a little bit of a cult classic, and even South Park, Cartman on South Park had a Clyde Frog doll.
Oh, my. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Clyde originated here?
Clyde originated here, as a matter of fact, so yeah.
All right, who other famous people do you have, or puppets do you have?
We have Kelly Turtle and Bear Fax. This is from The Mystery Place. Believe that was in the 1980s.
Okay. Did you ever watch any of these shows?
I watched Clyde Frog, for sure. I think I missed the Kelly Turtle, Bear Fax. But a lot of those, Dr. TikTok also, he went national. He had TikTok Minutes as well as a show called Funny Bones. But the TikTok Minutes went national, and it taught people, like little kids, how to pledge allegiance to the flag, how to, bicycle safely and all that sort of good thing. So, and he won a national Emmy.
Okay, now,
the writers.
You have puppeted yourself here.
That is true. That is true.
What were you involved in?
There's a purple dude down at the end there whose name is Ed Said.
Let's go get him.
Okay, let's go get him. This guy is Ed Said, and he is a 8-year-old kid who loves to tell kids about how to eat healthy and how to exercise and all that sort of good stuff. We wrote the songs here, me and some other people around, mostly other people around the station. I just got to sing them and puppeteer Ed Said, as a matter of fact.
Okay, and you learned the ropes, or I guess it'd be more proper to say you learned the strings of puppeteering from Peter Zapletal, more or less.
That is true. That is true. When I first started working here, he had the Puppet Arts, the Mississippi Puppet Arts Theater. That's not the right name of it. What is it called? Phooey, what is it called?
It's only a half-hour show.
So yeah, more or less. Peter Zapletal had, when I first started working here, was the head of production, and he had the Puppet Arts Theater, and he needed a new puppeteer, and I could do voices, and so he taught me how to puppeteer. But then I learned the even further ropes when we had Between the Lions come down to Mississippi and start shooting their shows here.
Yeah.
And then I got to actually lend a hand a lot.
As it were.
On that show. Yeah. I got to lend a hand to the Father Lion. Then in another season, I got to play some background characters. And then in one episode, they actually let me have my own character. And the name of the character was K-Ree. So, I think it was, tailor-made, I guess. It was a Cajun hound dog.
Who can we get to play K-Ree? Let's ask Carrie.
Yeah, there we go. And after that, they actually even further asked me to write part of an episode.
Uh-huh.
I got a book in the mail from Norman Stiles saying, hey, could you conform this book? We needed all about the letter S, and it was stone soup. I was like, well, that's a great start.
You get that Emmy in here.
Usually I have to have somebody else mention it. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Is there a need for puppeteers today since we have AI and all this? I mean, you can make real people do things.
I know, but there's still something to it when you have an actual human behind the puppet, because the puppet then can have breath. If you have AI, it's just a still thing, and it doesn't have the soul, it doesn't have the breath. So it does need that human touch, because AI is also so perfect. You need some imperfection, because people aren't perfect. Characters aren't perfect. And there is still a need for puppeteers today, because there's still stories to tell.
Yes, and we're going to tell a bunch of those stories right here every afternoon at 3:30 on the Daily Sip.